Hi, darling. We're going to see how people are perceiving you. And I feel like there's going to be multiple vantage points from this reading because I started scrying before this reading to get grounded and centered, and all I kept seeing were eyes. So I feel like you're keeping a watchful eye out for yourself and who's in your energy, but there's also a lot of people keeping their eye on you. You might feel like you might have monitoring spirits around you. And that is basically confirmed. I don't feel like you are in the least bit distracted by these monitoring spirits. You might be seeing a lot of flies or something, but you feel just more level-headed. It feels like the song I kept hearing was Even in Arcadia by Sleep Token. And so I just feel like you are really... Oh, hold on. My phone's ringing. What's going on? Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry. It was a text message. That's so funny. You know, you might just be pushing through to do what you need to do, okay? I've got a friend who's like, I'm having a beer at 10 a.m. to get through this thing that I need to do. And I'm like, go for it, girl. You do. Go for it. It's so funny. But it just feels like pushing through. Like, I'm not going to let what's stopping me bother me. I'm not going to let monitoring spirits bother me. It feels like you're sort of training like a deity, right? Rather than relying on deities, you're training like a deity. Okay, I'm going to get some charms for the start of this reading. 1:44 on the clock. Okay, so we have the salamander, fire energy. I feel like you're very quick. Okay, you're very quick. Some people might think that you are cold-blooded. I don't think you are, though. I don't think you are at all. And then I have this like this Afro goddess here. I love that. People might think that you have nice, you have nice uppers and lowers, if you know what I'm saying. You know, you got a nice body. You're very hot. Okay, you're very cold-blooded. There's a dragonfly here. Oh, quick. Quick is coming in fast. Like, my kids frequently try to catch dragonflies in the backyard, and they are so fast you can barely keep up with them. It just feels like they're also like predator insects, so they go after mosquitoes and stuff. So I feel like you're like cutting out the bloodsuckers of your life. Maybe that's the people who think that you're cold-hearted. At the same time, you have this elephant here, so loyalty, royalty, extravagance, just like being held in high Excalibur. Interesting. And then oh, it's a compass. You know exactly where you're going in your life. Okay, stop being so shiny, light. Okay, that's a compass there. So I feel like you're following your destiny at this point, and you may feel like you are meant for big, grand, royal things. You're making big footsteps, like you're taking big steps here. We have this feather that almost looks like a dagger. So something about your freedom here and your willingness to fly, it cuts people pretty deep whenever you decide to do that. Okay, you could be a musician. We've got the guitar here, and now I'm hearing like all the songs from Tenacious D, the pick of destiny. You pick your destiny. I don't know. It feels like you just play your destiny like melodically. I'm not sure. You could literally just be a musician, or I don't know. It feels like you're meant for great big things, though. Like, I'm also getting how like hair spiritually is supposed to be like healthy hair is like being in tap with the divine. So if like you have a lot of hair, you feel just like very divinely guided in everything that you do. So you don't really second guess. You don't really stay in one spot. You go after what you need to do. Okay, I have 2 new decks that I'm also going to use. So we have What's the Vibe? All right, let's get the vibe of these people around you and how they're perceiving you. Okay. All right, Spirit, my higher self, my darling's higher self, thanks so much for using me as a channel to guide and instruct. I ask you for the most clear and concise messages, information, feelings, and sensations to flow through me for the betterment of my darling, for the highest good of all. Thank you so much, Spirit. Okay, Spirit, what is the energy here? Who's in my darling's energy? And how are they viewing them? Intimacy. So these are, you know, possibly current lovers, past lovers, all the lovers, but mutual respect, unity, closeness. You spark a sense of closeness with everyone around you. People feel like they can open up to you, that they can be their most raw, vulnerable self around you. You're very warm, inviting, and down to earth. They never feel set apart. They never feel judged by you. You're a very ooey gooey person to people, okay? What else is going on? What else is the energy? How are they perceiving darling? Let's see. Delay, procrastination, too busy. So this might be like you might trigger some people's like insecure issues, because just as close as you can be, you can also be kind of set apart, because you have a lot of things going on. They may feel like your time is pulled very thin, so you don't have a lot of time to be intimate, but they sure do love it when you are intimate with them. Okay, hopeless, lost, depression, suicide. I think the problem is because your energy is so like enigmatic. Is that the word? I don't even know. I need to look that up real quick, because I'm not sure that that's the meaning that I'm going for. I'm going to say it. Your energy is so enigmatic that they sort of rely on that to feel good. Puzzling, mysterious. Okay. Yeah. You know what? I feel like it's because, I'm not going to look at these because these fell on the ground, right? No, I don't feel like that's right. Okay. Because your energy is just so rare and unique, when you are spending time away from these people who desire this intimacy with you, they feel a sense of hopelessness. They can feel like they have lost something, like you are moving away from them. Okay, these are people who also deal with depression or suicidal ideation. Okay, and I feel like you are brought into their life to show them that they can overcome that. They can overcome their challenges. Okay. You want to try to spark people finding that spark that they get from you within themselves, because you're like, everyone can have this. Like, there's not a secret here. It's just doing it. Thrills, continuous cycle, bad decisions, addictions. Yeah, I feel like you're surrounded by a lot of people who have addiction issues, okay, who have mental health issues, who have attachment issues, okay, and you are sent in their life to sort of heal that wound within them. But because of that, because you might trigger that feeling, like you might trigger them feeling like they're supposed to be super close to you, but then they navigate out of their wounding. They might project that issue onto you. So when you're gone, they may assume the worst about you. They may assume that you're fake, that the connection that you have with this person, with these people, is a facade, that it's not real, that it's actually something toxic, but really you're unveiling a part of them that they have to work on. Anything else before I move on to the tarot? Chaos. Upheaval, disaster, downfall. Yeah. I think the problem is that the chaos, distance, yeah, divorce, ghosted, separation. The chaos that you bring to people's life is not actually a reflection of you. I think when people come across someone who has their focus, like you've got your eye on your destiny, you've got your eye on what you're doing, you are set in that vision. Okay, so when people see someone stable who's also open, down to earth, caring, but then that energy gets pulled away so that you can focus on what you're doing in your life, then that throws people into a heap of chaos, you know, feeling triggered, feeling all the negative things, but it's because of their own attachment to your energy instead of, you know, formulating their own energy to be inspired by you, right? You are very much people's muse, and you are also very much their biggest frustration because you're unattainable in a way. Okay? Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Like, we've got the Fool at the bottom here of this. This is a new deck that I'm trying, the Unveiled Tarot. It's my first time using this deck, so it's going to take me a second to, you know, piece together the messages here. But like, look, this person is standing on a podium, but really like underneath the subconscious energy is like clown energy. So it's like these people want a new beginning. They feel like they could be empowered with you, right? They feel like they could stand in a crowd, you know, speak up. You invoke that energy from them, but then deep within there's this feeling of like it's all showmanship. They are undeserving. They're not actually stepping into that energy. So then there's this reliance on your energy. Okay, how are people perceiving my darling right now? Tell me. I feel like I'm supposed to clarify these, what's the vibe card? So I'm going to do that. I'm going to start with intimacy. Okay, how are people viewing my darling regarding this intimacy card? Two of Swords, Nine of Pentacles. It's very conflicting for them because you are a warm, loving, caring, open-hearted, open-minded, non-judgmental person, but at the same time, you are very clear on like, they get confused because you choose yourself instead of choosing them. Okay, this is like Two of Swords sort of being like indecision, feeling stuck in a chess match. Like this is literally a chessboard here. And then the Nine of Pentacles, like having tea time in the garden here, but you're really surrounded by bricks, right? It's like, is this not what I think it is? They almost feel like it's a game. Like you're playing games with them. Because again, there's this unattainable energy. Like, is there a wall here? People might think that you have a wall. I feel like you're mirroring their own walls. You know, yeah. Very contemplating. These people, I think it's because they view it as a game instead of like getting in touch with their intuition, right? The World here at the bottom. Yeah. They just feel like you kind of like do your own thing. You go where you want to go. You're with who you want to be with. You know, you might be a world traveler, and these people just want to like they want to lock you down. They want to be locked in with you. But it feels like they don't know what moves to make because of your unattainability. Okay, time, delay, procrastination. Too busy. How are people perceiving, darling, regarding this delay? Two of Pentacles. You've got a lot of things going on. You are juggling a lot. Ace of Pentacles. And the Lovers at the bottom. These people are frustrated because there is a delay in some sort of connection here moving forward. It's like they want something tangible all the time. They want you every single day. They want you for the rest of their life. They want all of your time, energy, and effort. They want to be your supporter. They want to be that person with you, okay? But they feel like they have to watch you from afar. And this imagery, this person, like, these people are supposed to be connected. Like the passion is all around them, but then in this real life energy, they're not even locking eyes. This guy's watching through a phone, you know. But there's a soulmate connection energy that almost everyone feels with you, even if you are, you know, just friends with these people. There is just a pull that you have on everyone in your life, and then people feel like you are too busy for them. You've got other things going on, okay? You've got other things going on. Ticking time bomb with that grenade. Ticking time bomb. They feel like something is a ticking time bomb with you. Okay. Hopeless, loss, depression. Tell me how people are viewing, darling, regarding this energy. Six of Wands, Ten of Swords, Page of Wands, the Hanged Man. Some people feel betrayed by your decision to, I feel like you're doing something big, like you're in the limelight here. You're getting a lot of recognition, okay? And you're very beautiful, male or female, beautiful, handsome. Like you might even be acknowledged because of your looks. Like primarily people notice you because of your looks being so alluring here. But they might feel betrayed by the attention that you get, or they might feel like that's inevitable. Like I think the intimacy and the not knowing what to do and feeling like there's games is because you get a lot of attention because of what you're doing. And they feel like, how could I measure up? Like, I'm just me and you're everything that you are. And yeah. The thing is too, like, I feel like what's not fair is that these people at least have some sort of understanding of you conquering your own battles here. Like, you have really faced a wall of hopelessness, loss, depression in your life, and you've had to overcome that. Okay, you have like a backstory, like you've got a canon event like no other, but you chose to turn that into power rather than just like feeling like you're stuck, feeling like, the world is against you. That's not who you are. You got back up. There's a card sticking out here that I'm going to look at. Okay, King of Wands. You're so determined to overcome everything in your life. People feel almost more hopeless because they don't know how to get that energy. Again, there's something so inspiring about you and the way that you overcome all circumstances that you faced in your life. And people, it almost like, instead of inspiring them to do the inner work, to, live by their passions, to step into their full, potential here of just trying things, because hell, I'd rather try and fail, than not try at all. Or the only reason that I'm gonna fail is if I stop trying. Like, that's the mindset that you have, and they see that in you, but then that almost makes them feel like, well, I don't have that mindset, so why would how could I ever become anything like that, right? There's almost this feeling of like envy that you are who you are. There's people who, it's like love-hate here. Like, they love you, they admire you, they want you, they desire you. You are addicting to them. You are so fulfilling. You are life-affirming. You are giving. But then at the same time, you are unattainable. And they're just like, I want what you have, okay? Thrills, again, like, yeah, addictions. Someone is addicted to you. Okay, you're addicting to them. Tell me how they are perceiving, darling, regarding this thrills. Six of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles. Notice the the fraction there. The World at the bottom. Yeah, it's like, I feel like you literally have to spend your time doing lots of things. You're very generous with your time. You're very generous with your energy. You have to do a lot of things because you're like, I want to, what's the song I'm hearing? Conviction by, I don't know how to say the Neffex, Neffex. I want to have a life worth living. I want to be rich because I want to be given. Like, that's who you are. You're doing so much and your time is spread so thin because you want to be generous with everything that you get. And then people get very greedy with that. They feel like, well, I feel like instead of you spending, six of your pentacles worth of time and energy and money on helping a bunch of people, that you should, just give me some of that so that I can rebuild. Okay, this is a fallen tower, but here, if you plan hard enough, you can rebuild the tower. And they almost feel like you should help rebuild who they are. They feel very reliant on your energy and effort here. Okay, and that's not the point of this. The point is not for you to fix them. The point is for you to teach people how to step into embodying who they really are. It's like, what's that phrase that I'm hearing? You don't hate yourself. You don't hate yourself. You hate not being yourself. If you're miserable and you're focusing on miserable things, is that really who you are? Or are you just tired of not being yourself? Who you are at your core, not that person. You can get in touch with that person. And that's what your energy is supposed to spark in people. It's like ego death, like that tower crumbled and then rebuilding here. You're supposed to help people with that, and you do help people with that, but then these people also feel like because you're helping not just them and other people, that it's insincere. They are so blinded by their own view of reality here. Yeah. Instead of seeing it for what spiritual lesson it is with the High Priestess. Yeah. Okay, chaos, upheaval, disaster, downfall. How are people perceiving, darling? Seven of Cups and Knight of Cups. Hierophant at the bottom. I think what makes people feel chaotic about you or makes people think that you're chaos is because it's like you're not committed to just one thing, right? Like the one thing that you're committed to is yourself, okay? A big wheel here. It's so funny. A big wheel. You're committed to yourself primarily and showing, you know, doing things that you love, setting out on adventures that you love. And nothing really knocks you down. Like no matter what you're tempted with, like do you see the apples in that imagery? Like I'm getting the Adam and Eve, you know, apples from the orchard. It's like no matter what tempts you or what distracts you, you can use all of that to set forth. Like getting back in alignment with what you want is like riding a bike for you. Nothing keeps you down for long. If you fall off the bike, you're going to get back on, okay? Yeah. At the bottom, we have Temperance. These are people who maybe, because I'm seeing a lot of cups here. So like I'm seeing this person has a cup, you know, Knight of Cups with the bike. So there could be like people around you who drink and drive specifically. I know that's a specific message, but like look at this person also choosing this apple over this cup. So maybe you've had to step away from these people because they are big drinkers. Okay, they have addiction problems, an alcohol problem. Look, there's a bartender in this imagery. You've had to say, I cannot surround myself with people. Like I cannot put myself in that environment because I love and care about you, and I'm not going to let you destroy yourself. I'm not going to give a thumbs up to that. You know, also it's not good for me. It's not good for, you know, what I'm doing with my life, where I'm focusing. And some people may feel betrayed by that. Some people may feel like you are, you know, too hot to handle. Like that's how you feel about yourself. And they agree, but it's also like a jealousy thing because they're like, well, who are you? You think you're high and mighty here? Well, you think you're God? And you're like, I train with the gods. I train like a deity. That came up at the beginning. I train like a deity. People worship deities. People idolize deities. People fear deities. I train like one. Like I've got my eye on my destiny. I'm creating my own life. I want to do all this stuff. I want to be generous. I want to help people. And so I have to do a lot to do that. And I get that you're upset that I can't feed into what you're dealing with, that I can't, you know, be maybe who I used to be, that I've overcome this lifestyle. That doesn't mean that I view you any less. That doesn't mean that I think that I'm better than you. That just means that I think that I'm better than I used to be. Like I'm only in competition with me. So these people might take the fact that you're in competition with your past self, that you're overcoming your life problems, your obstacles, as like you thinking that you're better than anyone else. And that's not at all what's happened here. Like that's not at all. You don't think you're better than anyone. You're just trying to be better than you used to be. You're training like a deity. Okay, let's see. Is there any other messages that want to come out here, Spirit? I'm going to get some brutal honesty decks here so that you can kind of, I don't know. I just need the brutal energy of these people around you because I'm not feeling the greatest energy, and that's really unfortunate because I do feel like you have the best intentions and you are so down to earth and non-judgmental while also making changes in your life unapologetically. And I feel like that's really rattling these people. So what does my darling need to know about these people and how they're perceiving them before we close out this reading? Supportive energy, hateful energy. That's what I'm telling you. Love, hate. Like these people want all of your support, but then they're upset whenever you don't enable them, or they're upset whenever you also have other things to do, other priorities. Honest. You're very honest. People think that you're very honest, but at the same time, because you're going towards your goals, they might view you as greedy. These people are having a hard time, and I feel like you're a catalyst for that, like for them figuring that out. Defensive energy. Okay, defensive energy. These people might, you know, Yeah, now I'm seeing that chessboard on the Two of Swords. So it's like they might feel like they have to play defensively against your antics, and you're like, I'm not even playing a game. Like, that's not what this is. A person has difficulty trusting. Nothing good will come from this. This is the right course of action. Someone wants to connect with you. Okay. Friendships. Okay. So this is a friend who's at a distance right now, or you feel like there's emotional distance, even though you used to be really close. And the thing is, like, just give it time. Just keep going down the path that you're going down, because they're either going to come with you or not, right? This person around you does have a hard time trusting anyone, especially when they make changes and it makes them feel like they are not meeting the same mark in their life that you are achieving. Okay, they're not reaching the same level right now. So then that makes them feel like nothing good is going to come from this. They feel like you're going to leave them in the dust, that you're going to abandon them. I think the best thing you can do is keep doing what you're doing. Reach out and connect as you feel called to. Still be that supportive friend. Like, here's the deal. I don't even think that like a tarot reading could even tell you what to do, because you're so in alignment with your destiny. Burps, confirmation burps, so random. You're so in alignment with your destiny and what you want to do and the type of person that you are, the type of supportive person that you are, that there's no advice that I could give you, because you already know. You're so in alignment, you already know. So give it time. This person is a friend. They will work through their issues. That you are a catalyst for people working through their deep insecurities so that they can up level and rise to meet you. Because I don't think, again, you're not trying to be above anyone. You're not thinking that you're better than anyone. You are just setting an example to show people that they can change, that they can overcome their circumstances. And that is the most beautiful thing. People recognize that, but people are also intimidated by that. Okay, I hope that this reading resonated for you. If it did, please let me know down in the comments. I would appreciate it. I love hearing everyone's personal stories. I love hearing your circumstance, even if it doesn't even if it's in contrast with what the reading says, even if my readings trigger you, that's okay. I welcome it. I see you. I feel you. I appreciate you. We are all in this together. But it does help me feel, I like hearing whenever my little small cluster, my small batch readings are meant for someone. Yeah. Okay. Thank you if you are willing to do that, but no pressure if not. Okay. I will see you next week with a long form reading and shorts for the remainder of the week. I am traveling this weekend, so I'm going to try to post the shorts on Friday. I'm going to try to get it scheduled. YouTube has been weird with the format of posting, and also my shorts have been sounding off. I think I'm having microphone issues, so I'm trying to fix that. So if you could let me know if the audio sounds okay in my shorts readings, because I'm using a camera here with a separate microphone. For my shorts, I use my phone, and I have like a little Shure mic that plugs into my phone. Okay. And I think there's something going on with that. So if you can let me know about the audio sound. I have been gaining up the audio on those readings, but then someone said that the audio was still bad, and so I'm trying to figure out what's wrong, if I turned it up too much. I would appreciate any feedback. I need that. I need the feedback so that I can know how to adjust things and make it right for y'all. Okay, but anyways, we'll see if I post something on Friday, but I will be back by Monday with shorts at the very least, and I'll see you Tuesday and Wednesday for long form readings, okay? I hope that you have a great rest of the week. I love you so much. Take care, and ta-da!